Tonight on Oswego Now, as the protests in support of the Palestinian people spread to college campuses across the country, see how it's spreading to Oswego as well.
Plus, Oswego police are investigating a homicide. One suspect is in custody and a neighborhood's on edge.
And President Joe Biden visits Syracuse. What he and other officials had to say about Micron's $100 billion investment in central New York.
This is Oswego Now.
Good evening and welcome to Oswego Now. I'm Megan Gagno.
And I'm Thomas Caffarella.
On college campuses across the country, the number of rallies being held in support of the Palestinian people continues to grow, spreading to college campuses in New York like Cornell and Columbia. The members of Oswego's Students for Justice in Palestine group are joining those nationwide rallies. Their first march was held last month. Another is about an hour from now.
Oswego Now reporter Kaylee Richmond is outside of Culkin Hall where that rally is scheduled to take place at 5:30. Kaylee, how is the organization preparing for the protest and what do the students hope to achieve?
Thank you, Thomas and Megan. I'm here right outside of Culkin Hall, where in just an hour, students will be gathering in front of this building to petition the university to divest from Israeli pensions and funding that sponsor the institution. But before any protesting begins today, students gathered in the Marano Campus Center to make posters and signs for this afternoon's rally. I talked with SJP President Kaylin Jimenez, who is disappointed in the college, saying that the organization will not stop until the university takes actions. And with the protests happening on campuses across the country, she says she's proud to be a part of the nationwide movement.
We must continue to fight for Palestinians. They have not heard us, they have not listened to us, and they stay complicit, which means we must continue to agitate. I think it's all interconnected, and what we see at Columbia and Harvard and FIT definitely has impacted us, and we stand in solidarity with all.
Protesters will gather here in front of Culkin Hall at 5:30, but Oswego Now will keep you updated as this protest progresses. But for now, reporting for Oswego Now, I'm Kaylee Richmond. Thomas?
Thank you, Kaylee. And a developing story happening here in the city of Oswego. Just before midnight, city police discovered a male victim dead from a gunshot wound. The call started as an assault complaint over on East 10th Street. Oswego police were still on the scene this afternoon. We're told by investigators the suspect fled the scene but was found in the city of Fulton and is currently being held there pending arraignment. No info on the suspect or victim has been released, but Oswego police said in a statement this is an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public. Oswego Now will continue to monitor the situation as more information is released.
New York State's budget for the 2025 fiscal year passed this week after weeks of delays. The budget total comes in at $237 billion in spending, the largest in state history. The budget bolsters the state's universities in some ways, including making the completion of the FAFSA universal for high school seniors and a $114 million investment in operating funding for state-run schools. SUNY Oswego will benefit from the new funding, but will be hurt by the removal of $1 million from the university's emergency maintenance fund, as schools across the state lose funding in that area this budget cycle. President Peter Wosu sent a statement to students Tuesday from SUNY Chancellor John B. King, outlining how these cuts will affect SUNY as a whole, but could not be reached for comment on how SUNY Oswego will be affected.
And investing in America, a message from the president.
Joe Biden was in Syracuse this week. Our Oswego Now reporter Clarissa Karki has the latest.
A future of chips, stamped made in America. This is what President Joe Biden promised as he announced a $6 billion federal award to Micron Technology on Thursday during his visit to Syracuse.
It's one of the most significant science and technology investments in our history. If it's essential, we're going to make it here in America.
Micron will use these grants to help build 2 chip manufacturing plants in the U.S., one of which is opening 35 minutes south of Oswego in the Onondaga County town of Clay. Semiconductor chips are used to power everything from our smartphones, electric vehicles, and military systems. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says this investment will help make America a leader in global chip manufacturing.
America's future will be built in Syracuse, not in Shanghai. We are rebuilding a upstate New York's economy one microchip at a time.
Micron says the two plants in New York will create over 50,000 new jobs over the next 20 years. As new workers move to the greater Syracuse area, Oswego Mayor Rob Corradino hopes they will choose to call Oswego their home, which he predicts will boost local economy.
I think the city will benefit not only from a population increase, but also from a business standpoint. Again, the city of Oswego is not just a good place to live, it's a good place to do business.
To meet the increasing demand of the future job market, President Biden has declared Syracuse as one of the new workforce hubs where future workers can learn hands-on skills.
It isn't just about investing in America, it's about investing in the American people as well.
With President Biden's announcement declaring Syracuse as the new workforce hub designed to find and train the new generation of chip manufacturing workers, one thing is for certain. The tiny chip will create big jobs in the area. Clarissa Karki, Oswego Now.
The funding for the grant stems from the CHIPS Act, which is a bipartisan group of lawmakers passed in 2022 to reestablish the United States as a leader in the production of semiconductors.
SUNY Oswego is developing new opportunities for its media students with the establishment of a new chapter of the Broadcast Education Association, or BEA, on its campus. Melina Williams tells us what the group is all about.
SUNY Oswego is welcoming a new chapter of the Broadcast Education Association, or BEA, this upcoming fall. The Broadcast Education Association is dedicated to enhancing broadcast education for students not only in the United States but internationally. It provides opportunities for academic research, student competitions, and networking opportunities.
Bringing a BEA chapter to Oswego, I think, is pretty important for putting us on the same level as a whole bunch of other broadcasting programs that are out there.
Dr. Kreider says the new chapter at SUNY Oswego presents opportunity for students in broadcasting and cinema and screen studies, as it will allow students to participate in competitions, apply for scholarships, and network with peers and professionals in the field.
I want to do something that brings them all under one umbrella, whether you're part of a media organization or not. So ultimately, that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to open up opportunities and bring students together for mutual benefit.
Membership is open to full-time students seeking a career in the media. Regardless of major, the new club provides extra opportunities beyond the classroom for students interested in media careers.
We're just looking for any student who is interested in studying towards a career in the media, who wants these extra opportunities that they may not get in the classroom.
Some students have already expressed excitement over the new BEA chapter, highlighting the appeal of joining the new club for networking opportunities and gaining insights into the field.
I would definitely join, and I think if I could get some networking opportunities out of it, or just learn more about the field, that would be great and extremely helpful for my major.
Melina Williams, Oswego Now.
As SUNY Oswego continues to expand its presence in broadcasting education, the establishment of the BEA chapter marks a significant milestone and what Kreider says is a journey towards excellence in media studies.
And let me tell you, Megan, this weather forecast has me ready to change my sweatshirt for a tank top.
I feel the same exact way. Let's get a quick weather update with Oswego Now meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald.
Thanks, guys. That is right. Hopefully you will be able to wear that tank top very soon. The temperatures are expected to increase, but taking a look outside right now, 49 degrees with the winds at 10 miles per hour. Not too bad out there. Dew points at 35. Humidity is 37, so it's very, very dry out there. And it feels like 44 degrees. We do have a lot of weather, interesting weather coming up, but I'll have that coming up for you guys in my full forecast. Back to you for now.
Thank you, Aurora. And coming up later, you get them in your email and maybe even via text message. We're talking about surveys, what they're used for, and why they're important. That story still ahead.
And hear more from a local rabbi with the latest on this year's Passover.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back to Oswego Now. I'm your meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald. Taking a look at our pollen forecast. Tree pollen is pretty moderate out there, so people are probably starting to see their allergies just starting to pop up. Grass pollen and dust and mold, there's low, possibly even none. So allergies are just starting to kick up, and the drastic change in temperatures also has a big factor affecting your allergies. So you're probably definitely seeing that. So Oswego right now sitting pretty at 49 degrees. It does feel a little chilly out there for spring, Fulton at 53. Sodas Point is at 50, Central Square is at 54. It's a little warmer over here probably because they're farther away from the lake. Rome is also at 54, Pulaski is at 53. Not too breezy out there, but later this week we are going to see some thunderstorms. Now, what do you do during a thunderstorm? This is probably going to be the first thunderstorm we are going to see for the spring season. So some advice for a thunderstorm. Always have extra food, first aid kits, candles, flashlights, anything you'll need like a survival kit. Stay inside or seek any shelter. Make sure to avoid bodies of water, open spaces, and metallic objects because there's always a chance, very small chance, that lightning could strike somewhere, but you just always want to be safe. Now, taking a look at your evening planner, if you're heading out tonight, it is a Friday night. 6 p.m., it's going to be clear for the sunset, so if you want to go down by the lake, I highly suggest it. It's going to be beautiful, but still a little chilly, sitting at 48 degrees. 8 o'clock, clear skies for the nighttime. You're going to see just a little bit of a full moon, not quite, 46 degrees, and by 10, we're going to see some clouds move in with 44 degrees, so it's going to get definitely chilly. 5-day forecast. This is where the storms are going to show up, the thunderstorms on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. However, the temperatures are going up. We see 62, 67, 66, and 67. Hopefully these temperatures will stay. They should stay because we're getting closer to the summer season. The lows aren't too bad out there, but unfortunately the rain is probably going to come into tonight and the storms are going to start into next week, but that is all for my full forecast. Make sure to stay prepared out there, guys. Back to you.
This week is Passover, and with all the protests going on around campus against Israel's incursion into Gaza and on campuses around the country, students are still finding a way to get together for the holiday.
Our reporter Andy Agudayev has the latest on Passover and how this year's Seder will be affected.
I am currently standing in front of the rabbi's house where their hametz, which is a Jewish word for bread, is being burned. The reason their hametz is being
Coming up on Oswego Now this weekend, SUNY Oswego's Delsart senior dancers will say goodbye through a final performance.
And up next, learn more about the importance of surveys populating your email.
100,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Oswego Now. If you've been ignoring survey emails, they serve a bigger purpose than just taking space up in your inbox. Oswego anchor Thomas Caffarella learns why they're important.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Oswego Now. Today's guest with me is Deborah Furlong, Director of Research, Data, and Analytics at SUNY Oswego. Deborah, how are you today?
I'm good.
Perfect. I would like to talk to you about the importance of surveys on campus. So first off, can you tell me some of the goals of the IR&A?
The goals of my office, which is actually the Office of Institutional Research and Assessment, primarily collecting and organizing data, mostly quantitative data, to support executives to make the very best decisions on behalf of the campus and the students. We try to, to structure data and to organize it quickly so that campus decision makers can direct resources and know whether or not the things we're trying to do are having an effect.
Gotcha. And so I've been seeing frequent emails in my inbox while here at SUNY Oswego from the Institutional and Research Data Analytics from SUNY itself.
Yeah, let me tell you about the relationship between the campus and SUNY system when it comes to data and analysis. Every campus has an IR office, which is what I'm the director of here. And we focus on the data and the students at our campus. SUNY has a similar office, which is what you just said. It's Institutional Research and Data Analytics. We partner. So there are some projects that SUNY really cares about that they do, and then they share the results with all the campuses. And then there's some stuff that we just do on our own, for our own good. The survey that you're probably seeing right now, there's a big campus-wide survey in the field right now that is a SUNY survey. Every third spring, SUNY does a student satisfaction survey, and they send it out to all the students system-wide. And they've been doing this for like 30, 40 years, I don't know, a long, long time. They do it system-wide so that they get very comparable data. And one of the things that each campus does with the data is we compare ourselves to other similar schools. So if the students here say, oh, the food service is just really bad, we can say, okay, now what campus is getting really good marks on food service? And then we might call those folks up and say, what are you doing? How have you improved student satisfaction around that kind of area?
Gotcha. So it's important to make sure that students are taking these surveys because you want your voice to be heard in the kind of this decision-making process, right?
Yeah, it's always a toss-up for students because, you think it's a massive survey. That we sent out 5,600 of them.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of like voting. It's like, how much does any one voice matter? But if you don't vote, then you have no voice at all.
Absolutely.
And we absolutely do use the results.
Absolutely.
We compare ourselves to the other SUNYs. We compare ourselves historically over time. There was like 10 or 15 years running. SUNY Oswego students said academic advising is really not good enough here.
And Deborah,
and they changed it.
I'm really sorry, but I do have to send it back to the desk. Thank you so
Sounds
much,
great.
guys. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
Now back to the desk.
Seniors in campus dance group Del Sart will have one last dance this coming weekend as the group performs for the final time this semester. Our reporter Amani De La Cruz has what's to come this weekend.
I'm Amani De La Cruz, and currently I'm right outside of the Waterman Theater, where Delsart will be having their final performance of the year. The recital will be musical-based, meaning all of the opening numbers will be from musicals. But don't worry, they will have all genres of dance within the performance. The show will showcase a total of 48 dances with many seniors on the team. This is the last show for many. Senior Leah McCarran says she feels like she was robbed of a year in the club due to COVID. She says if she had the chance to stay another year just for Delsart, she would.
I'm really sad about it. I don't want to leave at all. This is the only part of college that I'm gonna miss, like, everybody, no matter if you never danced before, if you've been dancing your whole life. I just don't want it to end like.
Their senior Mohammed Hamas says he's found a home and family within Delsart.
In 2 weeks we'll be over and we'll be done with our lives in Oswego. Super pumped for the recital because it's 2 days of non-stop dance madness, and I want you guys to be there to enjoy the passion which we all have for dance.
Be sure to come on down to Waterman Theater this weekend, Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets are available at the box office, $7 for the general public and free for students. Amani De La Cruz, Oswego Now.
Still to come, hear more from a student about their success story in the Oswego community.
Playoffs have arrived for one SUNY Oswego team, and a new honor society was created on campus. All that and more in sports right after the break.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and get my high school diploma.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Oswego Now. I'm Brian Burrows with your Oswego Now Sports Report. If you're looking for something to do tonight, watching a spikeball tournament may be something to fill your time. Oswego's Campus Recreation Spikeball Tournament got underway at 4:30. This is the second semester they're running the tournament, and after a good turnout in the fall, Griffin Rinn, an intramural supervisor and one of the event organizers, said that they expect a similar turnout.
Ran the same tournament last semester, and it was a great success. It took probably a couple hours, honestly, start to finish, because we had probably close to 20 different teams, just teams of two, but double elimination we're planning on doing, so you get a fair amount of games in, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of people there.
The tournament is taking place on the lawn in front of Onondaga Hall. From one of the fastest growing games in the country to one of the oldest, the regular season is coming to a close for the Oswego men's lacrosse team. They play their final game against the Oneonta Red Dragons tomorrow on the road. The Lakers currently sit in third place with the Red Dragons in fifth, one game behind. A win for either squad will guarantee a playoff spot. The opening face-off is set for 1 p.m. The Oswego women's lacrosse is headed down Route 104 tomorrow for a first-round matchup with the Brockport Golden Eagles. A 17-4 loss on Wednesday night to Cortland broke the team's 4-game win streak and left them tied with Brockport in the standings. The Golden Eagles took the tiebreaker on head-to-head after beating them on April 4th. Senior forward Sela Wiley feels the season has prepared them for this game.
You know, we're more confident now. We've played some harder games and we've figured out, you know, what's working and what's not working.
The game will take place at the Dr. Linda Arena in Brockport with face-off at 3 p.m. A new honor society on campus has inducted 66 student athletes. Chi Alpha Sigma is an honor society that recognizes student-athlete excellence. Students must have a cumulative GPA of 3.4, completed at least 5 semesters, and be endorsed by the coaching staff. The Assistant Athletic Director for Student-Athlete Success at SUNY Oswego, Merlin Joseph, says this honor society gives more student-athletes the opportunity to be recognized even if they're not at the top of the class.
And it also ingratiates other student-athletes that have high academic achievement, and maybe it's not the 1%, but it's also, you know, the top 25%. So you're talking about 3.40, but it's also, you know, you're trying to celebrate that and not just being like, well, it's not a 3.9, so we can't celebrate that. We wanted to find ways to celebrate even more excellence from student athletes, and you know, we're excited about this moving forward.
Joseph also says SUNY Oswego faculty and staff can expect to be a part of the induction ceremony in the future, and that they play an important role into the student athlete's success. That's all for my sports report. Back to Megan and Thomas at the desk.
The SUNY Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence is the highest honor students can receive in SUNY. SUNY Oswego recently honored 4 of its high-achieving students. Among them was an Oswego resident, known for his extensive community service. Hugh Randall is a double major in physics and applied mathematics with a minor in astronomy. He has participated in 6 research projects in his field and has worked with the NASA Goddard Space Center, along with the Italian National Institute for Astrophysics and the Max Planck Institute in Germany. With the amount of outreach opportunities made available to him this semester, one of them hits a little closer to home. Randall says when it comes to balancing everything, he stays motivated because he enjoys it.
Did presentations and activities with the students in the middle school, 7th and 8th grade, multiple classes a day. That was really cool, getting to go back to somewhere that I went to school and see my old teachers and talk to the new students. And I got to work one-on-one with big groups of kids and make them excited about the eclipse that was coming up.
Randall credits Oswego's strong support system as a key factor in his achievements.
And I mean, while listening to that, he seems like a fantastic individual. What did you think?
Oh my God, he has gotten so much accomplished, and just the grace that he has to have gotten an award as big as that one.
And I was thinking too, what was it? What was his major again?
It was applied mathematics and also a focus in mathematics.
All right, and let's take a final look at weather with Aurora Fitzgerald. Aurora, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so I gave my full forecast before, but I wanted to show you guys a really, really cool picture before that I took right before class. So this is a crazy phenomenon. I caught 2 things here that I love. So this circle that we see around the sun is what we call a sundog. When the haze and the clouds are just right, you'll see a little circle around the sun. Sometimes if it's clear enough, it kind of looks like a rainbow, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. Another thing is these little stripes, you see all these little stripes here? This is what we call gravity waves. I was in the National Eclipse Ballooning Project during the eclipse, and as well as in New Mexico. So we were looking at these gravity waves, and this picture is just beautiful, and I'll send it back to you guys.
That's our report for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
And for more local news content, check out our website at oswegonow.net. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic night.